Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with New York City Jazz Pianist Senri Oe on the 2021 CD Letter to New York. This 11-track album is a special homage expressing his full love for New York City, and it captures the eclectic array of the Big Apple's music energies. With limitations of recording studios being closed down this past year, he had only an upright piano, electric keyboard, and the Logic Pro X music app on his laptop, and he embraced that opportunity to fully explore. Enjoy the story.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you today?
I'm good, man. It's so good to catch up with you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
I find this release fascinating because I noticed over the quarantine there were so many levels of electronica that got infused into jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this concept of writing a love letter to New York. It's one of the most timeless and enduring artistic expressions that can be put out. So straight up at the top, what was the initial inspiration to make you do this wonderful new CD?
Last year, 2020, maybe November, I got an experience to do a live performance wearing a mask with Ali Honig, Matt Closing, who created my former album called Whom, sixth album. We didn't do trio live for a while, but we got a chance to do that in November. So in the morning to the Japanese audience, because their time is 9 p.m. like that. So we did it again trio live. So we got a fantastic imagination. So we can do that. You're wearing a mask, it's okay. We have to do some work in the studio together. We talked about that. So till the beginning of this year. And this is a very stunning meeting with Sony Japan co-producers on Zoom. So I really enthusiastically start to talk about it. So wow, that's good idea, Senri. But on the other hand, this is still a pandemic. We can't do any PR pitch. You can't go to anywhere right now. So how about this? When I listen to your demo that you made by your own with a computer, listening to that. So behind my back, the one young Sony person asked me, who's that? Is that new one? New jazz, electric, some new artists from New York? No, this is Senri Oe, as you know. Oh my God. How is that? So I heard a conversation from the co-producer. So how about, he said, how about making yourself alone jazz, staying at the home, making some music? How about that idea? Oh my God. I have no idea, but it might be very, very interesting. So after I hung up my Zoom, and I started do something, nail some rhythmic loop from my music, soft logic. So 1, 2, 3, and combine, and making 8 bars loop. And listening to that, I put the sound, just like a jazz, electric, Miles Davis, like that, progression I put. And listening to that, I finally toss up the simple melody by Miles and one more person as a horn section right there. That's the beginning of this album. The first tune, what I'm talking, is Out of Chaos.
Based on a collection of poems, the Poems of New York. Talk to me a little bit about that book of poetry and why that inspired you to make these songs.
What I lost in the pandemic, touching somebody, hugging somebody, and, dance together or something like that. But most, I miss you is the trip to anywhere to see people in person. So I love trip. I imagine, a trip I started through this process. I go to 70 miles, as you told me, Coltrane, Mr. Coltrane, and see the Jacko to do some funky rhythm, so I can back and forth in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I also put some DJ kind of stuff, like that noise. I take off any form of concept, preconception, something like that, and I reborn. I got a reborn as no music chart, scores, no sustain pedal. I just need a small Apple computer and connecting to a Casio PuTi mini keyboard. Yeah, some ramen, Sapporo ramen. If I feel hectic, I can do that. Just move to a kitchen to make one salty ramen. And okay, I resume working with music. Kind of things started. So I completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 tunes.
Now that, this was definitely done during the quarantine, now that we're kind of moving into another phase of life, what kind of optimism or hope do you have for the future for live shows and future projects as we move forward?
I'm still doing remote internet performance, live performance. So I'm going to do that on August 28th. But on the other hand, I will restart to attend to a real concert. The first one is coming soon, September 4th. I'm going to join to the big music festival, Summer Music Festival 21 in Milwaukee. So Guns N' Roses there and Jonas Brothers there, different kind of rock, pop, samba, jazz, a lot of various kind of people gather. So I'm really excited about that.
Wonderful. Senri, thank you for opening up about this project and talking about how the future's unfolding for you. It's a pleasure. I really love this CD, and I can't wait to play it on the show.
Thanks so much, Joe. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to want you to see my real stage in person. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in New York, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Senri for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.